What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to No Life to Metal. Going to be doing a what's spinning today, and I'm going to call this one some obscure thrash metal gems, because basically that's what I've been listening to, a lot of thrash metal, and that's mostly based on the fact that I did a video not too long ago, like top 40 thrash albums, I don't know, something like that. But I continue to just be on this thrash kick, and was digging through my collection and just pulling out some of the more obscure stuff that I hadn't heard in a while. So I'm going to get right into it with a band from Sweden. This is Mezro. This is Then Came the Killing. This was probably mid-80s. I don't remember the exact year it was, but on the Active Records logo. It might have even been like 89 or 90, that late. But yeah, great band, great album. Discovered these guys probably about 10 years ago, maybe even a little longer than that. Back before Facebook and all that kind of stuff, when we had boards and we chatted on boards. I had a hard metal board, and we had some great thrashers on there. We'd constantly be checking out new bands and sending each other new bands, and this is the one that discovered on that board. So exactly what you want to hear from thrash metal. I mean, these guys aren't breaking any new ground by 1989, 1990 for sure. Definitely inspired by the U.S. metal scene, and they do bring in some of their own sound. So you're going to hear that kind of the Sweden influence in their sound. They don't sound exactly like say a Metallica or a Exodus or a Testament, but you're going to hear those influences in their sound. Very good band. Cool band picture in the back. Pretty much the exact way I looked when I was growing up. It still look like that today, just not as thin. But yeah, denim, leather, high top shoes that are untied, and a band T-shirt that's like the thrash metal uniform, and it still is to this day. And pretty much that's what I wear. Right now I'm wearing denim and a band T-shirt, and I don't have my leather jacket on, but I do have a leather jacket. So, and when it's cold out, that's what I wear. Anyhow. I don't wear my shoes untied anymore, though, like that. Though I did used to do that. With the tongues outside, the shoes untied. It was just, I don't know. It was just I don't know if it was just something that was particularly to thrash metal. I think it was something that was particular to the late 80s and into the early 90s. Because I remember even like rappers would wear high top shoes. They wear the high top Adidas same way, untied with the tongues hanging out. So I don't think it was something that was just thrash. It was just of that time period. This one I just received the other day, and I've spun it twice already. I really enjoyed this band. Again, this band's from Sweden, and full picture of the band in the back. Look like, I mean, they're from Sweden, but they look like they're probably from California, don't they? The blonde hair and tan skin, and regardless, the sound here is thrash metal. Bit of a crossover sound at times, so there's a bit of a punk influence, but they have something unique about their sound, which is what I dug about it. And they bring in a bit of a progressive element here and there too, which is odd, because when you think of a punk ethic, you definitely don't think progressive. Punk and progressive are like as far apart as east as west, but they do bring in at times a punk ethic in here and that crossover ethic, but they also have some progressive elements as well. Very good band, great musicians, and really enjoyed this one. Like I said, new to me, Tribulation, Clown of Thorns. Dig the clown cover too. And let's see, let's stick with the clown covers here. I'm going to pull a different one out, because clown covers, I just had another one here with the clown cover. Here it is. From US, Wargasm. This is Why Play Around. And its original US pressing on the Rock Hotel Records label, distributed by Profile. These guys are fairly well known. They're not, universally known like Metallica is, or Slayer or whatnot, but still a great band, regardless of how underground or not they are. And these guys have they're kind of not real fast. They're kind of mid-paced. They have a lot of great, almost groovy riffs at times. Lots of memorable songs. Big hooks, which is one of the things I like about them. Kind of like knee deep in blood. I get that riff in my head. Can't play the riff and sing at the same time. But yeah, good stuff. This is actually one of the bands that several people mentioned when I did my top 40. Like, why did you mention Wargasm? Honestly, I just didn't think about it. When I did that video, I just went through my collection and I pulled out the first 40 that came into mind, and this wasn't one of them. If I had thought about it, it could have easily made one of this, because it is a good record. Definitely deserves it. So we got a half clown, half jester thing going on here. We had a clown on the last one. This next one is also got a jester on it. This is Sonick Plague. Sorry, I keep wanting to say Spiral. Sonick Plague and What's the Purpose? This was a band I got turned on to a few years ago from a friend who used to have a YouTube channel. Unfortunately, does not have a YouTube channel anymore, and I wish he did, because I really enjoyed his videos. Very, I don't want to say obscure. He was in obscure stuff, but he had kind of like a wide variety of styles. He was in punk, he was in the metal, he was in the hard rock, and a little bit of everything, and really miss him. So regardless, he turned me on this band. They were a local band for him growing up. I believe they were from Connecticut. One of the things I liked about his video, I believe he lived in Connecticut, was at the very beginning of the video, he'd always show like wildlife from the area he was living in. I mean, all kinds of stuff, deer and bears and raccoons, all kinds of crazy crap. It was really cool. Anyhow, but this here is just straightforward metal. This is obscure, it's independent, but if you're looking for some good thrash metal, this one's not real expensive online, so it's worth investing in if you're into, really into thrash metal like I am. What's the Purpose? Sonick Plague from, I believe, from Connecticut. Alright, next up is, let's see, a couple bands from the UK. I don't know why UK metal, UK thrash, UK metal is huge. I mean, the new wave of British heavy metal, everybody's into that. When it comes to thrash, you don't really think of them, you think of the German bands, Teutonic bands, you think of Creator and Sodom and Destruction and Tankard and Accuser. When you think of the American bands, Exodus and Slayer and Testament and Anthrax and all those kind of bands, but UK had a thriving scene as well, and this is one of those bands that is from that scene. I pulled out two. I played this one first, and then I played the full second. But this is Deny Reality EP, 6 songs, including a little short kind of punk song called OPC. And then this is their full-length album. I believe this is the first full-length album. I have all this stuff on CD. These are the only 2 I have on vinyl. But both are really good. Great thrash metal. Again, you got to what I call machine gun riffing. That fast down picking that gives it that kind of brutal sound. Aggressive vocals. Everything's kind of aggressive, but it's got melody as well. I think that's what I like so much about thrash metal. It's aggressive. It makes me want to get up and jump around and move and bang my head, whatever. But it also has hooks and melody, and whereas when you started getting into death metal, you started losing a lot of that. Not that I don't like death metal, I do like death metal. But I think it's one of the things I like so much about thrash metal is it's got the aggression, but it also has the melody and the hooks. And Reanimator definitely has those things. Are they the best thrash band in the world? I don't know. I don't think they're gonna beat Slayer's Reign in Blood for thrash supremacy. But it's still a really good album if you're into thrash metal. This next one I actually showed in a recent video because it was a recent pickup. But this is the First Virus. Pray for War, and this is raw, really raw, rough recording, kind of like early Venom, but it's got charm to it. That's what I like about it. Kind of like Voivod's Arg or War and Pain or early Sodom or early Destruction, Creator. It's very roughly recorded, but it kind of adds to the charm. Sometimes raw recordings work, and it really adds to the charm of a record. Early Raven for sure has that. Early Venom, but then other albums like the first Megadeth album, then the recording is it's just bad. It's not raw. It's just bad. It's been improved over the years with remixes and whatnot, but if you have the original Combat pressing, it doesn't add to the charm. In my opinion, it makes it harder to listen to. Whereas this one here, the raw recording, the bad recording, whatever you want to call it, adds to the charm of it. And because I was listening to this one and I really wasn't even aware of that one until, I don't think I even heard it until this year. But I've had this one forever. And this is a great record. This is Force Recon, and I believe this is the first album to feature Coke McFinley on guitar, lead guitar, and became one of the main songwriters in the band too, and he's still, you know, keeping this band alive to this day. And this is a great album. I mean, he really brought something special to the band. Whereas that one was obviously it was thrash for thrash sake. It was speed for speed's sake. It was just, look how heavy we are, look how raw we are. This one brought in a tighter band, tighter songwriting. Again, are they gonna, you know, beat Slayer out for thrash metal supremacy? Probably not. You know, who cares? It's not about who sells the most records or who's the most influential. It's just really raw, very good thrash metal. So anyhow, UK thrash metal. This next one is another one. Again, this is a recent find for me. I didn't really know this band, but this is Vectum. I believe this is their debut. I think their second album was also released. This is on High Roller out of Germany. So I'm looking to get the second album too. This was Jürgen from, I think it was Jürgen Allman, I believe, sent me this one. And really dig it. German band, Speed Revolution. Looking forward to checking out more from this band. But again, these guys are pretty raw as well. Rough recording, but it's definitely not bad. Check out the picture of the band. Don't look like a thrash band. I mean, that to me looks like it could have been on the back of any new wave of British heavy metal record. I mean, if you would have saw that on the back of like a Tigers of Pantang record, you know, you would have thought nothing of it, because that's kind of what that look was, you know. The checkered shirt, the dog collars, you know. Anyhow, they don't look like thrash band, is what I'm trying to say. But they definitely play thrash, and it's good, raw, aggressive, early thrash. I can't remember what year this came out. 86 was the original reissue. Original release. I show this band in tons of videos. I show them all the time. I play them all the time. This is their EP. Brother Lee sent me this record, I'm going to say 5-6 years ago, and I just became addicted to Rammer ever since. Again, from Canada, these guys are pretty aggressive, kind of pushing the boundaries of death metal at times. Never quite stepping completely into death metal, but those vocals are very guttural, almost to the point of death metal. Kind of like early, you know, Death or Possessed, maybe even a little more aggressive than that. But 4-song EP from Rammer, great stuff, Canadian thrash metal. This next one's not too obscure. This is a Metal Blade release, I believe. Maybe not. Actually, it's not, but this is Thrash with Class. Why do I say that? Well, because this is what the hype sticker says. It's upside down, but you can see it. Thrash with Class. Check out the band. They look a little bit like Nasty Savage. You know, they got the whole leather spikes, blood thing going on there. I bet these guys are awesome to see live. Never got that chance, but this is good stuff. I really enjoy it. It is, when they say it's Thrash with Class, they really kind of avoid the whole punk ethic. They avoid and they go for a more refined sound. You know, where they pull in a lot of like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and like Thin Lizzy influences with the guitars. So you got two guitars doing lead and rhythm, so you kind of get that dual thing going on. This is a really good record. I need to. They have another album too, and I don't have it, so I need to get that one. This is actually the one I have, and I've had this one for a long time. Big chew on the side was obviously a cutout, but great record regardless. Enjoyed it. Now this next album, I believe this was their second. Could have been their first. I don't know. I'm mixing them up. But this is SYE. This is I believe they're a Canadian band too, and this is hold on a second. I gotta pick these records up. This is Wings of Change. These guys remind me of Exciter, so it's not really thrash metal. It's more of a straightforward heavy metal. You know, maybe a pre-thrash sound. You know, like Exciter or maybe Anvil, Raven. That kind of hyper speed vibe. But really good album. I really enjoy this one. Hadn't played it in a while. Pulled it out, gave it a spin. It kind of looked like Exciter too. Tell me that the guy in the middle, who I believe is Bernie Carlos, keys, vocals, and strings. Tell me he doesn't look a little bit like the drummer from Exciter, Dan Beeler. And you got Wayne Wildman, the Skin Slammer, and J.K. Blackjack, bass, and J.D. So yeah, not really thrash metal, but you know, kind of pushing in that direction. Also, some people might call it thrash metal, but to me, it's more heavy metal or speed metal. Next to, I played both these albums. I have all three of their albums on. I think I have 3 albums. I have all 3 of them on CD, but I pulled both albums out. This is Wrath. I believe they're from Chicago, but this is Fit of Anger, and then this one here is Nothing to Fear. kind of late 80s stuff. So this would have been what, 1988. This one would have been 1987. So 87, 88. This one's on the Medusa label. This one is on the Enigma label. You think they would be more well-known, considering they were on a fairly well-known label. I mean, that was Stryper's label, and Stryper sold millions of records on Enigma. There was a lot of well-known bands on Enigma. But yeah, they didn't really kind of get that notoriety. But regardless, still very good thrash metal from Chicago. Not breaking in and out any doors with, like, you know, trying new styles or really, like, doing something different from what other thrash metal bands are doing. But I mean, if you like thrash metal, they're good at it. You know, you don't listen to a jazz player and you go, well, you know, you sound like you're playing too much jazz. You should play some jazz funk or jazz. You know, no. If you want to hear jazz, you listen to jazz. It doesn't matter if he's trying to break down doors by mixing in other styles. And the same thing with thrash metal. These guys aren't trying to, like, mix it up and bring in elements of funk or whatever other crap people were trying to bring in to thrash at the end of the 80s and into the 90s. It's just straightforward thrash metal, and it's really good stuff. Wrath. Next band's from New Jersey. My original stomping grounds. This is where I grew up and lived until 1985 when I moved to upstate New York. I still kind of went back to New Jersey quite a bit, but this is Blessed Death. This is their debut. These guys, again, I put them more with the SYE, where they're kind of stepping outside pure thrash metal and giving us a bit more of a speed metal sound or a traditional metal sound. There's no punk ethic in here. The vocals are high, searing, kind of yelpy at times, but I really like his voice. He's kind of interesting. What's his name? Larry Portelli. He doesn't really sound like anybody else. I couldn't even, like, compare him to somebody else. But yeah, you can kind of see the band. Again, denim, leather, band shirts, high top shoes. They're pretty much the look, you know. But yeah, this is one of those ones I just pull out every, I don't know, maybe every year and give it a spin and enjoy it every year. They don't sound like any other band. Blessed Death or Blessed Death. So, good stuff. Next two from the same band, are both from Norway, obviously. But this is WitchHammer. This is a recent reissue on Alone Records from 2015. Now, this one's kind of convoluted. I don't know when the album was recorded. The album's called Deliver Us from Evil, The Lost Tapes. So I believe the album was recorded like at the end of the 80s, maybe even early 90s. Didn't come out until years later, finally on CD, and then 2015 finally on vinyl. But this is great stuff. Now this, to me, again, this is kind of along the lines of the SYE, where it's not really thrash metal. It's kind of more of a speed metal, a power metal sound. But yeah, I mean, people call them thrash metal. They push the boundaries of that once in a while, but really they're kind of walking that fence between traditional metal and thrash metal. And I really dig the vocals too. Very unique sound. He sings. He's not like a gruff growler, but he sings, but he's got a bit of grind to his voice, a bit of a, grind's not the right word, a bit of grit to his voice. So, and also, again, great stuff. I mean, if you're into traditional metal, you're probably going to dig them. If you don't like thrash, you still may dig these guys. If you're into thrash and not traditional metal, you still may dig WitchHammer, because, again, they kind of walk that line in between the two, and they've got elements of both. So, both these are reissues. They both have, came like bonus 7 inches. But good stuff from Norway. Next up, this band, I believe, is from Corpus Christi, Texas. Annihilator. I sang in Ultimatum for 20 years, and for many years, a good friend of mine, Michael Campbell, who is from Corpus Christi, Texas, was our roadie, and he's actually the guy who turned me on to these guys back, I'm going to say, in the 2000s. I didn't know about him before then. I picked this one up, original release EP on Wild Rags Records, but all their stuff has been released on CD, like a compilation or a best of, what do you want to call it. So I have that as well. Well worth picking up. But spun this EP, hadn't heard it in a while. Again, straightforward thrash metal. You know, kind of along the lines of like an Exodus, early Exodus stuff. Aggressive and kind of yelpy vocals. I don't know. It's thrash metal. It's got, like I said, it's got that machine gun riffing. You know, you got your double bass, you got your quick down beats and all that kind of fun stuff. palm muting, all the other catchphrases that go along with thrash metal, and I enjoyed it. So they have a full-length album out too, I believe. This is all I have on vinyl though. You don't see Wild Rag stuff much anymore. So this is from 1988. Next band was on Combat Records. Actually discovered them because I bought the CD Ultimate Revenge 2, and it had on there Forbidden, Death, Raven, Dark Angel, and Faith or Fear. And I was like, man, these guys are good. Raven's actually the band that stuck out because Raven was more of a metal band as opposed to all the other one being, aggressive thrash bands. But all the bands on there are great, including Faith or Fear. They held their own. They were the new kids on the block here, but great stuff. I mean, fantastic riffing, memorable songs. I love this album. I do spin this one quite often. I think this is the only thing they put out before they broke up. They've been reformed over the years, and I think they have a couple of releases out since then. But I believe this is their only original release on vinyl. This one probably would have been, 89, 90, somewhere in that area. It had to be around that area, 88. This is a UK pressing on Under One Flag, and I don't see a year on it anywhere. But yeah, I mean, it had to be the late 80s. So Faith or Fear, yeah. I mean, if you like Forbidden, if you like Dark Angel, chances are you're gonna like Faith or Fear. It's right up there. Actually, I posted this one on my Facebook page not too long ago, and somebody came on and they're like, Faith or Fear kind of suck. You need to check out. And they gave me another band to check out. I'm like, but the band he gave me to check out I think it was Forced Entry. Forced Entry, another great band, but I don't really think that Forced Entry is better than Faith or Fear. I like them both. So good stuff. This next one I was actually playing in the background of one of my other videos, and somebody commented, man, that band in the background really sucks. Okay, I like them. It's Violent Playground, Thrash and Blues. I think this is the only album they put out it's the only one I have, anyhow. It's good stuff. People, if there's a couple blues riff here and there, it kind of gives it an odd vibe. I mean, you just don't think of blues when you think of thrash. Nuclear Assault did a song where they mixed in a bit of a blues vibe on one of their songs, and that was kind of a joke. But these guys, they're doing their thing, and I kind of dig it. It's maybe it's not for everyone, but I like it. Same look, denim, leather, band shirt, high tops. Yep, thrash, 80s. This probably would have been 1990. I bet. Maybe even earlier than that. Let me find the date on here. Should look these dates up before I do the videos, but that would make sense. And I don't do things that make sense, I guess. Looks like 1988. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's good thrash metal, and like I said, it does have a couple blues riffs, mixed in here and there. There's actually a little hype sticker on here, and let's see, Thrashing magazine, whatever. Oh, the Kerrang magazine. Kerrang gave it 4.5 Ks. Thrash and Blues is one of the best albums I have heard in 1988. Well, there you go, it's here. Its unique approach of joining classic blues and contemporary thrash hits down home with incredible riffs. The hottest, hardest energy of the thrash world. So, somebody liked it besides me. Next band from Portugal. Rui Martins turned me on to these guys. Rui Martins, a guy who used to do VC videos, vinyl community videos. He does not do them anymore, unfortunately. Guy's got an insane collection. His Slayer collection alone would make most thrash fans. I mean, he's just got every pressing of every record. It's just amazing. But this is Ramp. This band's from Portugal. This is Thoughts. This is a reissue from 2016. The original album came out in 1991. It was originally a 6-song EP. They've added 3 tracks to make it 9 on here. I don't know where the extra tracks came from. They fit right in with the rest of them. So I mean, it's just a solid 9-song album now. Again, very much in the what you're going to expect from thrash metal. The killer riffing, the fast upbeat songs, all those kind of things. But I really enjoy the vocals in this one. You can kind of hear the Portuguese accent, the Portugal accent on here. The Portuguese. They speak Portuguese in Portugal. I know they speak Portuguese in Brazil. Anyhow, you can kind of hear that the accent from Portugal in there, and I kind of dig that. It kind of gives it, to my ears, a foreign vibe. Being that I'm from the United States, it kind of comes off as foreign, and I like that sound. It's just, it gives it something unique, So there you go. Ramp, Thoughts, 1991 original release. All right, a couple more here. Last one. This last one is I don't know, I wouldn't call it thrash metal, but this is the first album. They released 3 albums so far that I know of, and they've got all their demos are out on vinyl too, but this is from Texas. This is Watchtower. This is the first album with Jason Master on vocals. Jason went on to sing with Dangerous Toys, Broken Teeth as well. I love Jason's voice, whether it's in this band, which is very fast, pushing towards thrash metal, progressive, heavy metal sound, or whether it's with like the more commercial kind of raunchy sound of Dangerous Toys. But he's great on here. Looks the part too. He's got that, you know, sweaty denim and leather look going on there. This is a classic album. Most people know who Watchtower are. If you're into underground metal at all, especially if you're into progressive metal, Watchtower is one to check out. When I say progressive, I don't mean like Fates Warning or Queensryche or, you know, Dream Theater. This is much more aggressive than that. Much more metal than that. Much more pushing towards thrash metal, but like I said, pretty progressive stuff. So Watchtower, Energetic Disassembly, from what year did this one come out? I think it was 80, I don't know, it was the mid 80s, 84, 85, somewhere in that area. So there you go. There's my what's spinning for the week, and it was a long one. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all. Let me know what you'd like to see next. You know, give me some suggestions, because somebody gave me the suggestion for the pop glam hair metal one. That was fun to do. So if you got any suggestions, let me know what you would like me to do next. So that's it. Thanks for watching. God bless. Stay strong.